It's the time you break down those barriers and reach your goal. It's the time you make your dreams happen. It doesn't matter if you haven't failed in the past. Learn from your failures and leave the past where it is in the past. Think of it as a journey that steps leading towards your goals. It's the wolf that's climbing that's always hungrier than the wolf on the top of the hill. Or you gotta be hungrier than that wolf. Hunger is not just a desire. It is that relentless determination that keeps you going this year. Every step you take echoes with your purpose. It's that hunger and persistence that keeps you strong. Never lose sight of that hunger for success. Break down the steps your plan of action. You cannot climb a mountain in just one leap. You take small, intentional steps. Each step shows you're committed. As human beings, we're supported to evolve, grow, and become the person we were meant to be. We're never too old, too broke, or too uneducated to reinvent yourself. So take those steps toward your destiny. You cannot let fear stop you from reaching your goal. You just have to take one step forward. Just one step. Procrastination is sneaky. If you let it, it'll take your dreams from you. Time is the most precious asset you have. You cannot buy time. It's free. So make the time if you have to for your goal. When your success wakes you up in the middle of the night, when it wakes you up early in the morning, when it's the last things you think about, when you go to sleep, then you'll be successful. Make every year where you stop procrastinating and start grinding towards your goals. Imagine how it would feel to make your dreams a reality. Where it's those steps to take daily in silence in the dark room, strategizing and planning that are the building blocks of your dreams. I know it's not easy. I know you're tired. I know you're broken and broke. Start to progress today, even if you can only spend 30 minutes today. It's more important that you started. Your small step matter, no matter how small. See? So, all this stuff you've been imagining was not some hocus pocus. When you imagine stuff, it actually God showing you a preview of coming attraction He has for you. That's what your imagination is. What do you keep imagining yourself with a second home? Because God wants you to have a second home. Why do you keep imagining yourself in a supervisory capacity and other job? Because God really wants you to have that. Why you keep dreaming of opening a business one day? That's because that's God's really God for you. And He put it in your imagination. Believe in yourself and your goal. It's possible. It doesn't matter where you came from, your education level, your breakdown, or if you have experience. You gotta believe in yourself even if no one else does. When Henry Ford building his first car, he drove it late at the night to avoid being laughed at. He had to believe that he could create his dream. And if he had to work on his when everyone was asleep, he was still gonna create it. So what you have to decide is, are you gonna keep going or being the 99% of you are ready to be the part of 1%? Because it doesn't make difference where you come from. High school dropout. It doesn't make a difference where you come from. It doesn't make difference where you come from. Sleeping in abandoned building. It doesn't make a difference where you come from. A 17 years old mom that got pregnant. It doesn't make difference where you come from. South side of Chicago. It doesn't make a difference where you come from. Pretty much raised in Detroit. It doesn't make a difference where you come from. Took 12 years to get a 4-year degree. It doesn't make difference. You know what make a difference? What make a difference is when you become a 99% or 1%. And when it starts thinking like, acting like, or behaving like is 1%er. everything's changed. If you find this video inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe. Your journey is not just about reaching a destination, it's about evolving into the person capable of achieving those dreams. When you start to doubt yourself, just tell yourself, I'm thinking about false beliefs. And that's all they are, false beliefs. You gotta stop the train of thoughts. Am I going to give myself a path to surrender, or am I going to stand up? I remember telling a story when I produced my first BPS special on the public television of a man who came by a house and there were people on the porch stacking. And there was a dog moaning and growling. The guy was curious and he went back and asked the owner, why is this dog moaning and groaning? The owner said, because he's lying on a nail. The guy said, why would he just get up? He said, because it's not hurting bad enough for him to get off, just hurting bad enough for him to moan or groan. And so, what most people do in life, they have the power to change their circumstances. You're made in the likeness and image of God. You've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of death. But most people rather moan and groan about their situation. Show up in their lives as volunteer victims, rather than become actively engaged in doing work necessarily to change their circumstances. It's being said that two types of people, those who work or those who watch them. So you gotta be willing to do your internal work so that you have the mental resiliency and your external work find something that you want to master that will allow you to move yourself forward. So you have to, the first step is to find what we are, what we want to master. Why are you here? What's your reason for being? What you do, get up in the morning. Most people do not have a clue. Pay the bills to keep the roof over your head. I think we have to reflect on who am I, why I'm here, what drives me living your best. Life is not a passive endeavor. It requires intentionally and audacity. Let passion be the compass guiding your steps. If you're not walking excited about your life, then it's time to reasset your life. Do not forget to declutter your life. Let go of what no longer serves you. Let go of negative people who don't believe in you. Let go of negative false thoughts you have about your dreams. Let it go. I see too many people focusing on what they cannot do instead of doing what they can do. You will always have hurdles to jump over. Your roadblocks will always block your progress, but is it just a detour on the way to your new life? Create space and time. Your new life is not a distant goal. It starts with your daily commitment to living or creating your dreams. They are necessary to growth. Let me say that again. Challenges are necessary because they create growth. Without growth, you cannot create life you want. Yes, every year challenges are inevitable, but your responses to them defines your story. Face challenges with resilience, knowing that you are not permanent. They're not permanent. Stepping stone you have to stop over to get your goal. When working out to build muscle and strength, we actually create micro tires in our muscles. This makes our muscles stronger and bigger as it rebuilds itself. Just like in life, the challenges we face only make us stronger and more resilient. Sacrificing meaning that you're gonna have to give up certain things so that other things can get done right. You do not have time to be sitting around thinking you're the only one that's got to struggle. You're not the only one in the world that's got to take care of children. You're not the only one in the world that's working 2, maybe 3 jobs. But you gotta get things done, need to be done right. It doesn't matter if you're a single parent. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO of a business. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It always comes back to the mindset of individual. You've got to Designate the right things in your life, but if you're wasting valuable time on excuses, guess what? Excuses. Life's to celebrate when you do not get it done. So if you're that person that just cannot seem to break those bad habits, if you're just person that always seem to care more of everybody else and forget about yourself, you're not gonna to get very far. Like I said, sacrifice. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice people. Sometimes you gotta say, hey, you're not gonna get me in the position that I needed to be. And I need to be in a better position. So I may have to sacrifice the time that I've been spending with you and give myself a little bit more time so I can better myself. This is what this is about. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about you, the individual. Sometimes you gotta say, hey, it's about me today. It's about me getting things done and getting it done right now. Consider every challenge as a chapter in your book of resilience. When I started my first community company, I can remember it took me almost a year to get my first sale. It was a tough time. I had to reach down deep and grab that little bit of motivation and keep going. Everyone was telling me to quit, but I know I couldn't quit on myself or my family. I kept grinding in silence. When you disappoint yourself, it makes you more likely to quitting in other areas of your life. You start to believe it's okay. You allow yourself to accept disappointment. I wasn't going to give up on my dream or the purpose I made myself. I wasn't to adopt the mindset of quitter. I wasn't going to entertain those negative thoughts of quitting. Approach this perspective and winning mindset. Embrace discomfort because it's making you comfortable with the uncomfortable, nagging you to reach your goal and push through the pain, because on the other side there is a reward. Push through the pain through the fatigue. On the other side, your true strength emerges, and it's waiting for you. The struggles you face today will become the foundation of the successes you celebrate tomorrow. Let resilience be your ally, and let every challenge be an opportunity for growth. Stick to positive people. Surround yourself with positive people, for they will be supporting actors in your success story.